Hello students, this is the fifth video of this third module, that is memory system. So in this video I am going to explain you about the larger memories. So how we are going to arrange the cells in these larger memories and how the operations is going to be performed. So first, so there are, again, in large memories means again it will be either static or dynamic. So depending on what type of arrangement is being made and what is the cell consisting of, either it will be consisting of the transistors and the inverters, or it will be consisting of capacitor and the one transistor. So depending on that, we are going to differentiate between the two memories, static and the dynamic memories. So first thing is static memories. So this static memories, here you can see the arrangement of the cells. So it has, for example, the capacity of this is 2m words of 32 bits each. So 2m words of 32 bits each means, you can see here, it is arranged into 512 into 8 static memory chips. Each column consists of 4 chips. Again 4 into 8, again it will be 32. Okay, each chip implements 1 byte position. So each chip, it will be implementing 1 byte position, and each chip here, so this is one chip, this is the other chip, so it will be arranged 4 in each column, and each chip, it will be consisting of 8 bits of data again. Okay, so the column, it will be consisting of 4 chips, and the row, it will be consisting of this 512 into 8 static memory chips. So here what happens, we are going to use 21 bit address. So till now we are aware that the memory locations, it will be depending upon the address, what amount of address bits we are using. So here in this large memories, we are going to use 21 bit addresses. How we are going to calculate means 2 to the power of 21, what is the value, so many bit positions we will be having in our internal chips. So here as I have told you, it will be consisting of 21 bit addresses. In that, 2 address, it will be for a chip is being selected by setting its chip select control line to 1. Selected chip places its data on the data output line. Output of other chips are on the high impedance state. So here 21 bits of address, 21 bits to address a 32-bit word. High order 2 bits are needed to select the row by activating the 4 chip select signal. So 19 bits are used to access the specific byte location inside the selected chip. So here this I have told you, for column it will be it will be used here, like 4 different chips will be there, and the column address will be selected with the help of this 19-bit addresses, lower order 19 bits, and the higher order 2 bits, it will be used to select the row, which row of this is being selected, of this 4 arrangements is being selected here. So each memory chip, it will be consisting of 512k into 8 memory chip. So here this is the 2-bit decoder, and this is the 21-bit address. And here so first what we are going to do is, we are going to transfer the address based on the decoders here, and once it has been decoded to that particular area, the value will be, that address will be it will be assigned, and again the values have to be read from that particular area. We are going to read the value starting from D0 to D31, as it is a 32-bit word. Okay, so in this diagram also you can see, this is a 19-bit address and 8-bit data input or output line, and also chip select all will be used in this memory chip. So you can see, this is a one, this is a other one, and one more will be the chip select, which will be used. So this is about static memories. Dynamic memories, large dynamic memory system can be implemented using DRAM chips in a similar way to the static memory chip. So only difference here is we are going to use the chips as a dynamic RAMs. That is, it will be consisting of it will be consisting of one capacitor and one transistor in order to keep the charges in the memory, in the circuit. So here placing large memory systems directly on the motherboard will occupy a large amount of space. So whether it is a dynamic memory or whether it is a static memory, so for both the arrangements here, keeping large amount of memory on the motherboard, it will be taking large amount of space. So in order to avoid this, what we are going to do means we are going to include a small board where actually this large memory modules will be placed, and with the help of a single socket we are going to connect that chip to that chips which are connected in the small board to that of the motherboard. So motherboard, it will be having a connection only to that small board, and that small board in turn it will be holding the memories. So this arrangements package consideration have led to the development of larger memory units known as single inline memory modules or dual inline memory modules. So there are two different arrangements of these larger memories based on how they are being arranged, how the memory is being arranged, either in a single line or in a dual line. And all the memory, it will be stored in the form of modules. So here both of them, either single inline memory module or dual inline memory module, it will be stored in the form of memory chips on a small board, and this small board, it will be plugged into a single socket of the motherboard. So why this arrangement is being done means, what is the advantage means, it occupies lesser space on the motherboard and also allows for easy expansion by replacement. If we want to extend the memory also, it is very easy without disturbing the ongoing process in the actual computer system. So this is about the larger memories. In larger memories we have seen both like static memories and dynamic memories. So next part is memory system consideration. So here now, as of now, we are aware of random access memories. Okay, so these random access memories, they are of two types, that is dynamic and static. So where actually we are going to use the dynamic memory, where we are going to use static memory. So memory arrangement, how it is, it consists of the main memory, cache memory, and other registers and all. But here static memories, it will be as already it has been discussed, it is costlier when it is compared with the dynamic memory. So this static memories, it will be of high speed and high cost also. So if it has to be implemented, only small amount of memory has to be used. So wherever we are going to use cache memory, so that cache memory may be used as a static memory. So dynamic memory, where we are going to use means in the larger memories like main memory, or the levels which we are going to use. In that part we can make use of this dynamic memories, as the cost is also less and the performance, it is slow when it is compared with the static memories. So here recall that in a dynamic memory chip, to reduce the number of pins, multiplex addresses are used. So addresses is divided into two parts. High order address bit selects a row in the array, they are provided first and latched using the array signal. Low order address bit select a column in the row, they are provided later and latched using the column address signals. However, a processor issues all address bit at the same time. In order to achieve the multiplexing, memory controller circuit is inserted between the processor and the memory. So here is a diagram for that. We can see how it works actually. So this is the memory controller. So why we are going to use memory controller means, in order to reduce the number of pins which are being inserted into the memory, we are going to use this memory controller. So here, once the address is being sent by the processor, so and along with that, it will be sending the read write operation, what operation it has to perform on the